Happy day to you. I'm not sure if it's morning, afternoon, night, late evening, wherever you are, whatever time of the day it is. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, and if you're returning, then welcome back. And I'm so glad you decided to join me again. Today we're going to be doing a 20-minute get ready with me. It's a little longer than I normally do because we are going to be utilizing water activated eyeliner. I've tried it twice before. I'm going to try a new color today, and let's get started. I started with this Bliss Drench and Quench Cream to Water All Day Moisture. I love that. And then I also put some of this on. It's the Bliss Clear Genius Clarifying Toner and Serum. And lastly, I utilized Glow Up Vitamin C Serum. So I utilized all of those things after cleaning my face. Just got out the shower and ready to get started for the day. The first thing I'm going to start with is my eye shadow. And today I'm going to be using this. It's Bombshell. I picked it up not long ago and I really like how it works. We're going to use a pale pink. And I'm just going to start my lid with the pale pink. So how is everyone doing? How was your weekend? And how did your week start off? My weekend was really good. We spent some time doing some art projects, painting with my son, which always brings me joy. And my spouse joined us this time, so it was really nice. We all enjoyed it, and we actually painted wood animals. I painted the elephant. He distributed our animals. He got the giraffe. My spouse got the rhino, and I got the elephant, and I love elephants. So yeah, it was nice. I'm gonna add a little cream color up here right under the eyebrow. It's a cream sparkle. I think what we're doing today, adding this is gonna really help the more we build on colors and the further along we get. Getting into darker shades of pink. So I'm gonna put on my lid right here where you have your crease. I'm gonna put this beautiful sparkly pink that I really think will complement this look I'm building. I don't know where I'm going, but usually it comes together in the end. And you know what? Guess what? If it doesn't come together in the end, that's okay. It's just makeup. You can just start over if you start a look and you realize, you know, it's not going where I want it to go. Wipe it off. I've done it before. Start anew and keep going. Keep pushing. Nothing wrong with that. This week, busy week of training. And training is not my favorite part. I'm a person who does really well with learning by doing. But I think that it's valuable whenever I get a chance to be trained. I'm not upset about the training, but I won't be upset when it's over and I can get back to learning on the go. Because I've been at my job almost 2 months now, and it's going fantastic. For those who've checked out my videos and who've been liking, sharing, commenting, I just want to say thank you so much. You are so appreciated, and I didn't start this channel with any other idea besides to use it to help me with my grief process. And it's turned into so much more. You all have been so awesome, and yeah, got a lot of love for you all, and I'm so glad I didn't let fear stop me from starting this channel, because it's been so rewarding to me, and that's thanks to you all. Thank you so much for humoring me and spending your time with me. So I'm just doing a darker, it's like a dark, it's a cross between like a pink and a brown. It's kind of like a mauve, a dark mauve. I'm just going to be setting that into the corners. So I think I'm good for now on where we're at with that concealer. I'm going to boost up my head wrap. Grab my mirror so I can really see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put some above my eyebrows. I just like to start this a little early before doing my eyebrows sometimes. I do my makeup in the order that works for me, and I'm not a professional. I just like to do this for fun. And it usually comes out really good in how I like it. So take what you will from what I'm doing. But if you have a system that works better for you, by all means do it, because I've seen how other people do their makeup, and I've grown to love some of the tips, but some of the things, it just doesn't work for how I like to get ready. So I do my own thing. I want to tell a story time, and while I'm getting ready, and I haven't talked about this too much, but I'm going to talk about it today. It's part of my story, mainly my sister's story, and it's part of why I wanted to start the channel as well. My sister struggled with addiction. She struggled with addiction to alcohol, and alcoholism is a disease. And I'm still learning. By no means am I an expert in this, but I have learned over the years the best ways to support my sister and to set healthy boundaries after a while too, because it can be overwhelming trying to navigate your interactions with your loved one who struggles with addiction. One thing about my sister is she met 5 years. She was able to reach that 5-year goal of sobriety, and I was so proud of her. She was very proud of herself. It's just amazing, and so that was a big accomplishment for her, and I'll always highlight that. But we went through some struggling times throughout the time before we knew about her addiction, before we fully knew that that's what was going on. There were things that were happening, choices being made, things being done or said that for years I could not understand. And we went through periods where we didn't speak. Before and after she had accepted her alcoholism, because it took several years for her to even believe it herself. And it's one of those things. You can think someone has an addiction, can be struggling with addiction, but you can't make that person believe it for themselves. And they really, if they don't think that they have a problem and they don't see anything in their life that's not working that they want to see changed, you're going to be beating your head against the wall trying to make that happen. And for years we did that. And my sister, let's be honest, she hadn't had a history or knowledge of addiction and different things either. So it was a learning opportunity for her too. But once she accepted it and once she started doing the work, she was able to get sober and remain sober. Part of alcoholism or any kind of addiction, drug addiction of any kind, it's going to take work and it's going to take acknowledgement. And I was so proud of my sister when she started doing the work, because I could tell she was so much happier and so much freer. And one of the things that I deal with is guilt. I deal with guilt around the times that we didn't talk. I deal with the feelings around the times that we struggled and were arguing about various things and actions that she would make and things that she would do that I had no reason why they were being done. And I always just wanted to be a part of her life. And there were just things that happened that were really hurtful to me, and I couldn't understand why. And what helped me see the light was kind of when my mom was passing away, and that was when my sister really was struggling with addiction, because I think that, like many with addiction, it's a very stressful thing to go through losing a parent, whether you have addiction or not. I found myself drinking a little bit more often than I normally did during caretaking for my mom in her final months. But for my sister, it was just something that she emotionally was not able to deal with, and she struggled. And she started, before my mom passed, getting into treatment a couple months before my mom passed. And I know that brought my mom so much relief to know that she was getting help. And my sister was being honest, transparent. I remember she gave our father a letter to read for Thanksgiving. And I remember, I think several people got choked up just because she asked him to read a letter. We had no idea the contents of it, but she really was so vulnerable and transparent. And I thought it was so brave. I was so proud of her. Because I thought to myself, I was just beaming with pride how far she had come in her addiction. So we haven't talked about that very much, but it's just something that if you have someone in your life who is struggling with addiction, or you're struggling with addiction yourself, that's hard. It's a hard road, and it's hard for you. It's hard for your family members. It's hard for all involved. And sometimes you can just do the best you can. And I'm working through my guilt through therapy, which has been super helpful. But I'll tell you something about myself. So these are some thoughts. Therapy does not work. What happens at home stays at home. And therapy is pretty much useless. Those are some thoughts that I used to have. I don't have them anymore, but that's how I used to think. And my wife was a big piece of what got me out of that thought process, because she had been in therapy for years and it done wonders for her. I'm a Black female, and I think in the Black community, sometimes it can be frowned upon from all backgrounds. Our biases when it comes to mental health, which is a huge deal. And I'm so glad that as a society, I think we're working on that. But yeah, it can be a struggle. Really opened my eyes is over time I realized that I could be helped, that therapy could help. It was finding the right person. I'm gonna add. Hey friends, so I'm doing a little voiceover because some of my audio didn't catch my full story, but I'm using some concealer under the eye and down my nose. And I was explaining that I generally don't use a full face of foundation. I like to have some spot, like I do spot makeup as needed for parts of my skin that has rosacea, and I just don't like the weight of the foundation on my skin. And so I like the way I just spot treat my concealer as so. I dab it on, and then I will then spread out that product with a brush or a sponge, whatever I have handy. It's not caught on camera, but I do blend it out, and you'll see here that I've blended out my concealer and a little foundation on my skin. The next portion, I'm just putting on a little bit of black eyeliner. I find that putting this there adds almost a barrier, so that when you're putting on that water activated liner, that it stays in place and it applies more smoothly. I'm going to speed this up and get to the portion where I'm speaking again. I'm going to start working on that water activated liner. It comes with this little brush, and this is the brand that I'm using. If you want to pick it up, I got it from Amazon. You want to make sure you get your brush really coated and wet enough so that you get a good amount of product on there so that you really can apply it without it not smudging. I was not using enough water and it wasn't working out for me. So let's go ahead and give this a try. So in any event, after that horsing accident, I'm just going to put this pink below the black. And when you need to, get more water, get more product. And continue your line. And I think the black kind of creates a barrier so that I can apply the rest on. All right. So right now I'm going to be applying more of the liner on the other side of my eye. And I'm just explaining that if you need to reapply some water to really get more product on your brush as you need to, so that you can have a smooth line and so that it doesn't keep breaking up on you. I found that if I tried that system, it worked pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and speed up as you see the process. And if you have any questions, please comment and I'll be sure to answer them as soon as I can. First got a handle on how to be supportive to my sister and like to move past some of our issues, some of the hurt feelings when my mom was dying. Because my mom was so proud of my sister, and she also said, you know, I'd spent a lot of time with my niece, doing things for my niece, being there in the gaps as I could. And my mom said, if anything happens with your sister, like, you would take your niece. And I was like, wouldn't you? And I was like, oh yeah, she'd be with me. That's my baby. And she had made me promise a few things. She wanted me to promise, like, that we take care of our father, and our father in turn, like, he was going to take care of us, we would take care of him. That's a different story for another day, how that went. But with my sister, I made my mom a promise, and it wasn't from my mom asking. I just made a promise after she talked about my sister. I knew she was worrying. I let her know that I was going to be there for my sister. And that as much as I could, I was going to put the past behind us and move forward, and be there for my sister as much as I possibly could. And I feel like I did that. For as much as I was mentally and physically able, I was there. And sometimes it was overwhelming. Sometimes I felt like I didn't have the support I needed to support her. And to support her and my niece. I didn't have the thing, I had my spouse, but I felt like I wish I had, my mom was still here. I wish I had more family to assist than just me. But I think we did the best we could. I think me and my sister made an effort to really work on our relationship. And I'm proud of that. And I know that she would have been too. Despite some of the rough times, in the end, she ended up being one of my best friends for most of the last 5 years of her life. And when I feel guilty, I think back at that. I think about all the things I did do instead of the things that when I just mentally couldn't anymore or physically couldn't, that we did the best we could. And I gave myself grace, gave my sister grace. And I think that that's a lesson. If you're struggling with addiction, or, you know, someone's struggling with addiction, give them grace, give yourself grace, but also set healthy boundaries. This is the eyeliner with the pink. I like it that it's muted. So next I'm going to go into magnetic lashes. Sorry, this is an actual 20-minute makeup look. However, today it's a little bit longer only because of my talking. But if you implement what I'm doing without the talking, you'll be golden. So I have one coat. It's a little heavier on this side than this side, but I'll fix that on the second coat. If it happens, don't worry about it. You can fix it during the second coat. Just gonna add a darker foundation just to do a little bit of shading. So you want to have full coverage. And if you see spaces lacking, get a little bit more product and fill them in. The reason why is that if you don't get enough liner on there, the lash has nothing to attach to, and you'll notice it'll start peeling up. And you don't want that. So meanwhile, while this is drying, I am going to work on my lips. So I like to put a little lip balm, chapstick, tinted balm, just something. I like to have moisturized lips. I've said that before. I'll say it again. So first thing I'm going to do is line my lips. And I don't put the chapstick on the outside. And I do sometimes go over it with a Q-tip or paper towel, just to make sure I can actually apply the liner. Today I'm using the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner Gone Burgundy. Burgundy was my mom's favorite color. She was specific. Burgundy. I like red. Alright, so I've lined my lips. Gloss in the middle without a lipstick. I like to do this look sometimes. It's old school bronzed berry. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna let it set and think about it. I get a pack like this and it comes with 2 of these. I love that. And then you can use this to apply. I like to feel it so I can make sure I'm placing it exactly where I want to place it. So I like to have it and hold it in my hands to make sure that I'm placing it where I want to. So you're going to line it up. You don't want to press down until you know you have the placement you want. And then you're going to want to make sure you secure your edges. Each end, make sure it's secured down on that liner. There you have it. Super quick. I love this. How quick this is. And I know some people are really great at doing the glued lashes. I just have never gotten the hang of it. And this, I get asked quite often, what lashes am I wearing? And when I tell them it's magnetic, they haven't heard of it before. And they're like, how do you do it? And I actually got my sister into it, my aunt. And you want to lift them up to make sure you get them where you want them. So I'm going to put earrings on and come back for our final words and our closeout today. Hi friends, I'm back and this is my final look. I went ahead and I added some of my pink 680 Mesmerizing Magenta matte Maybelline lipstick to the lip, and I like this better. So I've done that, and I added a little mascara to the bottom lashes, and I think that's about it. I added my earrings, and this is the final look. I hope you all like it, and I want to encourage you today to choose you, and I want to check in with you to figure out how you're doing. How are you feeling? If you're grieving or dealing with loss of any sort, how are you feeling? I really want to know, and I want you to feel free to leave in the comments how you're feeling. Today I'm feeling okay. I had some vivid dreams about my sister the last 2 nights, and I woke up happy and sad. So that's me, but overall I'm smiling more than crying, but the tears still come, and that's okay. I want you to be your best self, and I want to challenge you to move from comfort to change. Step out of your comfort zone. You never know what's on the other side. Until next time, friends.